Hi there, it's Latrina. I'm back in the kitchen, so that means I have another plant-based meal that I'm going to share with you today. My intention here is purely to help those of you who are interested in transitioning to a plant-based diet or a fully vegan diet, and I want to help you do that without having to depend on processed food, junk food, things that have absolutely no nutritional value. One of the most common things that people turn to when they are trying to transition to a vegan diet are the burgers, because they are everywhere. The Beyond Meat burgers and Impossible burgers, those are even in a lot of restaurants right now, and people depend on that for their protein. Look, those are okay every now and then. I used to really buy them all the time, but at the end of the day, they are processed, and so they are not going to be good for you in the long run. So I want to show you today how to make an actual plant-based burger that's really nutritious, really simple and quick to make, and really delicious. It's a chickpea burger, so I'm going to show you how I make a simple chickpea burger. So before we get started, we want to make sure we have all of our ingredients, and the main ingredient for our chickpea burger is chickpea flour. We absolutely need that. And then we have some onion salt, some cayenne, dill, some green peppers, a tomato, and some kale, because we're going to put some chopped kale in there, some oregano and some basil, all the things we need here to get us started. We have our chickpea flour, and I'm going to get a cup of that, but I'm going to set it to the side and put that in last. And I actually have a recipe that is in front of me because it's a lot of ingredients. It's easy, but it's quite a few ingredients, and I haven't really made it enough to actually know it by heart just yet. So I'm just gonna follow along just to make sure I'm doing the right thing. But I have a cup of chickpea flour, and I'm gonna put that in last. And so next I'm gonna get my half a cup of onions that are diced, put those in there. I have some green peppers that are going in there. So it's a half a cup of that, and then a half a cup of kale that is diced. Have that. A plum tomato. I actually have two. I think they're more like cherry tomatoes, I think. So I put two of those instead of one plum tomato that's diced up. And 2 teaspoons of basil. Actually, I have some fresh basil from the garden. One of my coworkers has a nice garden, and she brought me some fresh herbs just today. So I'm actually going to take these off here and just cut those up. I actually have some, and you can actually use some basil that's in the little spice thing. I have some of that, but since my friend gave me all this beautiful fresh basil, I'm just gonna dice these up really quickly and use that because it smells so good. And as I said before in my previous video, fresh is always best. So if you have an opportunity to get fresh ingredients, go with those. And since these are so fresh, I'm gonna take advantage of that. So I have my 2 teaspoons of basil here, and then I actually have some fresh oregano as well. She gave me quite a bit of stuff today, which I was really excited about. She brought some fresh veggies into the office last week from her garden, like tomatoes and bell peppers and jalapeno peppers. And I love that so much. So she told me, she was like, well, okay, I'll bring you some herbs next time. And she's a woman of her word. And she did. So I'm dicing up these little basil now. I'm sorry, this is oregano. I did the basil already. So I'm putting the oregano in. It's only 2 teaspoons of oregano. And I have some onion salt. It calls for 2 teaspoons of that. And I'm gonna go ahead and just, it says onion powder. I use onion salt. Onion salt is more flavorful to me, and I love onions. And it calls for onion salt and actual diced onion. So that's 1 teaspoon of onion salt. And, oh, actually that's 2. I was putting in 2 tablespoons. We have some dill. Now the dill I'm actually gonna use from the little container here. So I'll do that. Let's see, how much dill is it? 1 teaspoon of dill. I love dill. I want some fresh dill, but that smells really, really good. A half a teaspoon of onion powder. a half a teaspoon of ginger. And I had this in the pantry, so I have this little ginger root. So you can use that or ground ginger. It's half a teaspoon of that. Let's see, it's coming out of there. So you can tell this is gonna have a little kick to it. Half a teaspoon of cayenne, my favorite spice. I love red pepper flakes, but cayenne is really, really good. So it's a half a teaspoon of that. I think that's way too much. Half a teaspoon of cayenne. And then it calls for spring water and grapeseed oil for the pan. So I'm gonna put the chickpea flour in there, garbanzo bean flour, chickpea flour, they're the same thing. So you put this in there, I'm gonna mix that up a little bit. Mix up the veggies a little bit with my hand here. And then I'm gonna pour in the cup of flour. I don't have my utensil. Get that real quick. And I'm gonna mix that up, mix it in there first, and then I'm gonna add up to half a cup of water. I have some over here just kind of waiting for me. Oh, I forgot to add in my sea salt. I see this over here. 2 teaspoons of sea salt. I forgot that. I'm looking at it now. There we go. Okay, so now I have all my veggies and seasonings in here and the flour that's mixing in there. So now I'm just gonna kind of mix in the water. It says for 1/4 of a cup up to half a cup, just to get the right consistency there. Okay, I just wanna give you a little peek at what that mixture looks like. So I added in a little grapeseed oil to get my wok ready here. So you can see I got my burgers going here in the pan. I'm gonna let them cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. You can see that pretty color with the kale popping out there. I like the way they look. Okay, so now that my burgers are done, I am going to make a quick, nutritious kale salad. I'm gonna opt out from making it a traditional burger, which I've done in the past and it's really good. But tonight, I don't really want all of that. I just want a really nice, good salad. So let's get to making that really quickly. So pretty much all I do is, you can rip this up, slice it up a little bit, but because I'm gonna kind of treat this and marinate it a little bit in this olive oil and some lemon juice, I'm trying to chop it just a little bit. Add some olive oil, a little bit of that. Add some lemon juice. I don't want those seeds in there. I'll get those out. And just kind of like marinate it, get it a little, just so it can, just enough to really wilt the kale a bit. I'm gonna add a red pepper in here. Just a little diced up red pepper. And then I put a little onion in there. And a little red pepper flakes for a little kick. Well, that's pretty much it. Let me see here. It's very lemony. Okay, so here's a final look. You can see that I have my delicious kale salad with red bell peppers, onion, lemon juice, and olive oil sprinkled on there. And I did put a little dash of sea salt. It elevated the flavors a lot better. It was a little tart for me, but it tastes really good for me right now for that. And I have like the 2 patties that turned out really good. And one of the other things I like to do, because these can, especially if I'm not making a burger with it and I just want it to have it like this, just to give it a little more moisture, I love this dressing from Trader Joe's. It's a vegan creamy dill dressing. I absolutely love it. It's at Trader Joe's. It's the only place to get it. And I will tend to put a little bit on top of my burger. And especially because, as I shared in the recipe, this burger has dill in it. And the dill was already smelling really, really good when I was cooking it. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of this sauce on here, not sauce, this dressing on here, and then give it a little taste. So you can see that it's as good as it looks. It is to me anyway, I already know it is. I tasted it a little bit earlier, I tested it out. And let's see here. It's good. I taste the dill. And honestly, I added a little more water than I did before when I first made this because it felt a little dry. It's a lot more moist with a little more water in it. So that tastes really good. I think I overdid it with the salt. I can taste a little more salt than I have before. And I think I just didn't measure that very well. But it still tastes really, really good. And the kale salad has a really great tart taste to it because I really like that lemony flavor, and it's not a lot of dressing. But if I wanted to, I could put my creamy dill dressing on there, but I don't really need to. But I just wanted to keep it nutritious. So this is a simple recipe for a chickpea burger. It takes more time to mix it up than it does to cook. Add your little salad to it, or you can even make it into a traditional burger if you like, and just have a good time with it because it's healthy, nutritious, and delicious. So until next time, bon appetit.